Hello and welcome back for another match with Epic Experiment Storm. We are on the draw and we have 4 lands out of 13 or 14, so we're going to keep this one. It doesn't do a lot, but if we're given any real time to develop, then we can just build up our hand, build up our mana, and go from there. So, ugh. Well, now one of our cards is dead because we drew one of our 2 fetchable lands left in our deck. So, we're going to go ahead and get the last one out of there and cast Night's Whisper and discard our fetch land. I assume we're getting our Epic Experiment sniped since the internet is a pretty popular place for people to go and read things. They could also just name a ritual. I don't know. There's a lot of things that they could be naming, but I would expect them to hit. They named Night's Whisper. In the dark, I generally recommend naming a 4 of card that you haven't seen. But to each their own, I suppose. I guess they could also just be playing Storm. In which case, like if they're playing Storm, then what? Well, that's just got to be a misclick. Well, back to you. We are somehow getting flooded on 13 lands, but okay. So yeah, definitely playing the Storm Mirror. Possibly dead right now. Likely dead right now. Almost certainly dead right now. Yeah, so our opponent can just get Past in Flames and kill us that way. So they Past in Flames, they flash back their Cabal Ritual, and then they can chain. Yeah, they can flash back their Infernal Tutor for another Cabal Ritual. This is tougher without a Storm counter. Why'd you take that away from us? We liked it so much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. That's game. Okay. So we're going to board in this Duress, and I'm iffy about these Pyroblasts. The bottom Cloisters aren't great, but I think I would rather have Pyroblast than Gitaxian Probe. Although I'm not even sure how correct that is. I think we just got flooded, and we shouldn't worry about it, and we should try to just straight up beat them in the combo mirror. Which is going to be interesting since we're playing Night's Whisper and they're playing Infernal Tutor, but we're going to try it. So we're going to keep this one since it has a lot of explosive potential. One of the things that I really like about Manamorphose is that you can cast it for green a decent amount of the time off of your Geothermal Crevices. So yeah, if we don't get hit by a discard spell here, then I would imagine they're dead. Unfortunately, Geothermal Crevice is a mountain while it's in play, so we can't therapy them. As you might imagine, being on the play versus the draw is quite a big deal in this sort of matchup, since it's just a flat-out race with a few discard spells thrown in as a pretense of interaction. So, let's do this. Get our green out of there, get some red and blue in. And Epic Experiment for 7. So all of these... Oh, we have to cast them in order? That's not how the card works. That's a huge problem, because you always want to cast your Storm spell last, and it, like, casts them. Yeah, just... That's bad. Fortunately, they're dead, but, like, that's sort of beside the point. So we're going to therapy them for Mindbreak Trap, and they're just so dead. As it turns out, Epic Experiment, quite the card. Quite the card. So, turns out making a bunch of mana and Epic Experimenting is great. Manamorphose is great because it's really hard to actually get blue mana in this deck, and turning green-green into blue-red was a game-winning transformation for us. And, I don't know, I like this, so let's keep it as is and move forward. There were a lot of people who were talking about, do you need more lands? And I genuinely don't know, but it is an open question. It's a worthy discussion, and yeah. So we're on the draw, and we have some pretty slow cards, but they're on a mulligan, and uh-oh. We're just getting killed? Okay. So they're preordaining, looking for their first land. I think we have time, basically, and I think that this hand benefits a lot from time. I also think that there are two ways that Storm Mirrors go. One is what you just saw, where someone kills someone else on turn 2 or 3. And the other is sort of a knockdown, drag out, like discard spells, grind each other down quite a bit games. Fortunately, we peel one of our 12 outs immediately, so we don't have to worry about that too much. And our opponent is just firing off cantrips, looking for... Oh, they went top with Preordain? Huh. That's interesting. So it's possible that actually that we should have put like some mana making sorcery in our sideboard so that we can Burning Wish for like a Rite of Flame equivalent, since that's what I would like that to be, since 3 action spells is a little much. But regardless, we're casting Night's Whisper next turn. And likely discarding either Burning Wish or Tendrils. Opponent is taking quite a bit with their Brainstorm. So next turn we go to 17 and draw 2, eventually discard 1. We don't need blue because Sulfur Vent's going to provide us with that. Okay, that's beautiful. I don't think we need this Tendrils. And like if they somehow randomly boarded in Surgical, then we have Burning Wish. Okay. So somehow our opponent is going to kill us? Yeah. Ad nauseum will almost certainly do it. Oh, is Past in Flames just enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Actually just dead to Past in Flames. That's unfortunate. Next turn we had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, we could Epic Experiment for 7. Kill them if they hadn't killed us first, but that's Magic. Good games, sir. You win. I'll be back in a sec.